I'm David Wheeley. I'm the CEO of a company called Entyr. Entyr is an Australian company with some unique technology, very focused on solving the world's waste tyre problem. And what we do is we turn the tyres into valuable products such as oil, carbon and steel, with the aim of replacing the need for virgin materials. We have a very unique process. It is based on pyrolysis, but it's a new generation of pyrolysis with a very low temperature and has very low environmental footprint with low emissions and virtually no waste. So most people don't really know about the world's waste tyre problem. We have lots of conversations about plastics, cardboards and a whole raft of other things, batteries and TVs and solar panels, but rarely is there a conversation about waste tyres. There's actually 1 billion tyres that reach the end of their life globally each year, and currently only around 10% of those find any meaningful recycled life. And in Australia, we're not much better. 56 million waste tyres annually, and 86% of those tyres are actually buried or exported to be burnt. And interestingly, I added the export there for impact because we don't burn the tyres ourselves in this country because we have concerns around emission controls. So at the moment, the vast majority of tyres in Australia are exported to be burnt. If you go to a tyre retailer and you need a new set of tyres, they'll sell you the new set of tyres, and on your invoice it'll say environmental disposal levy or environmental disposal charge. Most people think that that gets them an environmental outcome when the reality is that they are being shredded into small pieces, put in a container and sent overseas to be used as a replacement fossil fuel in thermal processes like cement kilns. For us, our process, we take a whole tyre, we shred it and then rasp it, in terms of just reducing its physical size. In the rasping process, we remove the steel. 20% of a tyre is actually high tensile steel in terms of its weight or mass, and we remove it, and that just goes into the world's recycled steel market for a circular life. The next part of our process is a thermal desorption unit. It's similar to pyrolysis but operates at a very low temperature, just above what's called the cracking temperature of the rubber, and that allows us to be energy efficient and reduce emissions and also be very efficient with the recovery of materials. So what the thermal process does is it breaks the tyre down into its original parts, being carbon black, and the recovered carbon black is called recovered carbon black, and tyre-derived oil. So the oil is a complex hydrocarbon. As if you took it out of the ground, it needs to be refined to be made into things. In terms of uses for these products, before I move on to that, just the only other item that we get from the process is gas. And at the moment, we're about 10% of the tyre's mass in gas is not reused. We've got that down with some equipment we're installing currently to less than 5%, with an aim of being at about 1%. We had planned at 10% to reuse the gas as part of the generation of our energy on site to power our system, but we believe if we can get down to 1%, it'll be a better use for the material going into carbon and oil. So the oil process, or the oil we make, is used in a number of things. Originally, with pioneering our process, we developed a market of using it as a replacement for diesel in burner applications, but we've since gone further up the recovery scale, and we have the product being exported and refined, and the particular oil we make is very high in naphtha or the light fractions of the oil, and therefore is used in value-based or high-value based items such as solvents or even plastics manufacturing. The remaining fuel can be used as a biogenic fuel, and in Europe right now there is very solid legislation that makes it attractive for biogenic fuels for use as a high-value item. Our number one focus, which is fairly new technology-wise, is converting this oil into virgin carbon black rather than the recovered carbon black. And there's a reason for that, as in recovered carbon black has a number of impurities that don't make it as good as virgin carbon black for the manufacturing process of mechanical rubber and also use in chemicals. Carbon black is used in many chemical manufacturing processes. So the recovered carbon black is simply a very fine black powder. It is what it sounds like, and it's used in rubber manufacturing. Predominantly it's 40+% of a tyre. It's used to make the rubber compound, and our use is for that to go back into rubber products to make a truly circular outcome. So for us, we have a showcase facility at Stapleton. We moved beyond pilot facility some 2 years ago. We've processed more than 2 million tyres to date, and by processing those tyres and having a higher value use, we've prevented landfilling or exporting to be burnt, and certainly promoting the reduction of stockpiles, which is a significant global problem for tyres. But more importantly, less single-use solutions. So the initial recovery or recycling of tyres that's been promoted globally is about turning them into moulded rubber items, such as playground mats or injected rubber items. Those have single use. Once the rubber compound molecular structure is changed and adhesives are added to the process, you physically can't recycle it. So although it is certainly better than burning, it is not part of the true circular economy. So less single-use solutions and ultimately reducing the use of virgin materials in manufacturing. So in tyres, obviously carbon black being one of the largest single inputs, that's actually made from virgin oil, and it uses a lot of energy. So being able to replace that is very important. So just touch on challenges. It was very eloquently put before. The challenges for us is we're in an environment with uncertainty with government legislation in Australia. It is very difficult to realise the investment required in a government space where the future is unclear. We, as a company, are competing against a number of European companies. Their access to capital is far greater. The clarity around the use of recovered products and the understanding of the hierarchy of use of recovered materials is far greater, and therefore it is very difficult and challenging, but not impossible, to lead from Australia, and we're doing our best to do so at the moment. So thank you.